continuing to make grub that our founding fathers might enjoy. For Independence Day, as we welcome Tinky Weisblat, author of Love, Laughter, and Rhubarb. Today, as we mentioned our founding fathers, we are making apparently what was George Washington's favorite breakfast snack, hoe cakes.
Hoe cakes, indeed. George Washington, in addition to being the father of our country and being, I think, kind of our most important president, because if he hadn't decided not to be president for life, they kind of wanted him to be, you know.
He was kind of good at being president.
He was kind of good at being president. He said, no, that's not what we're doing here, guys. This is a republic, and we're having limits. And it really worked out well. So,
but more than his ideas on two-party systems and war.
He also was a pioneer in changing the agriculture of Virginia. So before George Washington, it was mostly tobacco, which was heavily bad for the soil and also used a lot of enslaved labor. And he came to, and there were also problems with England.
Tinky, back to the hoe cakes.
I'm telling you, so he started a mill, which was very revolutionary. He started growing wheat and corn. So then he had to eat the stuff that he made, right?
Because he made it, yeah.
Because he made it. So this is cornmeal, very similar, probably not quite as coarse as what he used. This is white flour, which I don't know that he would have used.
Well, did they not have white flour back then? Is that kind of a more processed thing?
It's a more processed thing. It just takes more work, and my guess is he would have used whole wheat, or he probably would have just used all corn in this. Now, you can put in the next ingredients. We have...
What do we got?
We have baking powder. It's a little clumpy. That's why we're using the whisk. Baking soda, both. We're leavening this big time. And a little salt.
Did they have baking soda or baking powder back then? Or?
They did not, so he probably would have just had salt.
Tinky, why are you so smart? How come you know all these cool things that I want to know?
I have a PhD in American Studies.
And it's on full display right now.
It's on full display.
It's being harnessed by the proper vehicle.
Is that all
hoe
nicely
cakes.
done together? Then you're going to make a tiny, I know it's hard in that, make a little tiny well in the middle.
A little well? Okay, well,
Now we're going to take our buttermilk.
Speaking of presidents, I kind of feel like Ronald Reagan right now. I'm doing the whale.
You do that.
That was his favorite word. All right.
There.
I made a well.
Okay, I'm going to get the stuff to go in the well. This is buttermilk and egg and a little bit of melted butter. The melted butter is supposed to have cooled, but I'm not that organized, so it didn't cool. So what? It'll be fine.
Well, there you go.
Then that gets added to your drying. Whoops, I guess I better mix that egg a little bit.
That's okay. Did I make a well? Did I make the right?
You made a big enough well.
Oh, all right.
This is not too hard.
So you pour that in the well?
Pour that in the well. Then you're going to mix that up while I turn our hoe cakes over.
Now, am I beating it or am I mixing it? Like,
you're mixing it gently. You don't really need to
gently mix the hoe cakes.
Overthink it or overmix it.
And that's what I should do. I don't want to hurt them.
Then.
So is what you have on the stove over there what I'm doing right now?
This is my hoe cake, yes.
How do I know when this is ready?
It's probably ready right now. If the dry ingredients are kind of mixed in, you're good.
Okay, because I know with pancakes, it's like a very delicate procedure of knowing if they're ready to be inflamed.
That's right. Well, and it's kind of like a pancake in that we look at it now. So I'm looking at my batter. And then I'm saying, I think it could use a little tiny bit more buttermilk, which is why you were probably wondering why I had this ugly jar of buttermilk out. So we can add just a little bit more, and then you're going to mix that in.
Did George Washington like a buttery hoe cake? How did he like them?
George Washington ate them swimming in butter and honey. So that's what we're about to do.
Okay. He liked the buttery
I'm going to serve you up one little hoe cake, because the rest are still cooking. There's a little hoe cake.
That's a fresh hoe cake?
Tiny little, they're somewhere between a tortilla and a... oh, wait, don't you want it swimming in butter and honey?
Yes, I want a hoe cake exactly like Mr. G. Dubs would have.
You want to feel like George Washington.
That's all I've ever wanted to do.
Well, and swimming. So I'm taking that literally. This is quite a bit of butter for that little tiny cake.
Not here, not at the Big E, though.
No, at the Big E, they would think it was nothing. Well, they would have made a much bigger hoe cake, too. And then put on as much honey as you think it will swim in.
So it has honey, so not as much syrup. You do honey?
That's what he did.
Well, I do want to be like him.
I'm sure he had bees at Mount Vernon. He had a lot of stuff at Mount Vernon.
It's like a valley forge of honey.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Look at that. I made that. Well, Tinky really made it, but I'm going to try it.
We made it together.
Thank you, Tinky. We can all enjoy it.
It may not be quite as crispy as it would have been if I'd left it on the stove longer, but you'll get the idea. And pretty soon there'll be more.
Oh,
It
that
tastes
is delicious.
corny.
Yeah, it's like
I'm as
it's like a
corny
pancake.
as Massachusetts in July.
There you go. Yes, you are. It's like a pancake corn muffin almost. I would say.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
perfect.
You can see why he wanted them every day.
Now, coming up with Tinky, we're going to be making something that John Adams and Abigail Adams enjoyed.
That's right.
I look forward to that.
Strawberry fool.
Yeah, we'll be a fool for those. Thank you, Tinky.
My pleasure, Dad.